In today's episode, we will cover wireframing and design in a very detailed way. We will be using Figma for the design. Let's create a design file and name it as a Webflow project. So the concept is to design a landing page for this to-do list app. This is the desktop version of the app and this is a dummy client brief. Here are the details and some direction for each section of the landing page. Actually, this app design is from our past video on the channel. You can see in the daily UI day 37. I have just changed the colors for this project. Okay, copy that client brief and paste it in the project. Drag this to the side like that. Let's start with a frame. We can choose a preset here. I want to start with a normal desktop which is 1440 by 1024. First of all, I want to add layout grid. And I will change the grid to columns and will change the color to light blue. Now I want to add an 80 pixel margin from the sides to keep content inside the boundaries. Let's start with the Low-fidelity wireframe. This will be a quick outline where we will set the layout and basic structure for our final design. Before starting, let's add these colors to our project. Select the color, open this panel and click on that small plus button and name it. Similarly, the other colors too. We have added colors. Now we will start work on the wireframe. Look at the brief here. In the navigation bar, a logo and these navigation links. First we need a logo. Hit T, logo. And it should be bold. And for those nav items, we will make a hamburger menu this time. Select that rectangle tool and make a placeholder for it. Okay, so this is our navigation bar. In the hero section, let's drag the headline to the artboard by holding Option or Alt key. And the size should be about 40 or 45 pixel. The headline should be obviously bold. After the hero heading, we need a subheading. Just drag it to the artboard too. Remove the headless tile. I want to break this paragraph here. The font size should be about 25 and regular. Okay. And also need two buttons for Google Play and App Store. Select a rectangle tool and draw a small rectangle. So these are the buttons. Lastly, I want to put these texts for downloads and reviews. Remove the headless tile. On the right side, as always, we need a nice hero image. For now, we will just make a placeholder for the image just like that. And we'll create a cross-like shape by using pen tool like this. Turn off that grids. I want to make the color for the placeholder a little bit lighter and for the buttons a little darker. The hero section is completed. Let's move down to the second section. Okay, let's see in the brief. In section 2, we have a heading and these features list. For this, I want to make a darker background. Select that rectangle tool and draw a rectangle like this. Drag these text to the artboard. Make paragraph middle aligned. Remove that list style. Make it middle aligned and we will adjust the width like this. Let's display these text one by one. Also, I want to add icon for these items. Drag that box here and create more copies by dragging and holding the Option or Alt key. Distribute it horizontally and align the text to each icon. Here should be the section heading. I want to make it middle line and it should be bold. The size will be 30 pixel. That is our second section. Group this together and turn off that grid. In the third section, we have section heading and this paragraph. But first, this page make a little longer, like this. But I want to add an image here for analytics overview. Create a copy from that and resize it. And similarly, like others, we will stylize these heading and paragraph too. And also I want to add these two buttons here too. Just drag that and align this text to this image. Similarly, in section 4, we have a heading and a paragraph. To separate section 3 and 4, I will drag a separation line in between. Select that line tool and drag it with holding Shift key and give it color. Drag this text and stylize it, but I want to make it middle line. Also, we need an image here too for multiple devices. Okay, in the fifth section, we have section heading, a small paragraph and text for 3 planes, right? So I want to display these items on the darker background again. Select the rectangle tool and drag something like this. And give it color by using this eyedropper tool. Drag those heading and subheading and stylize similarly to others. Now we need 3 cars for those 3 planes. We will make a rectangle first. Let's bring this text closer to the artboard. Okay, the first car will be for free plane. This text should be a little bigger and bolder. And this plane is for starters. Duplicate this text for starters. And it will be regular and 18 pixel. Align it center. And for this, it should be regular and about 50 pixel. For starters, it should be on $0. Let's adjust these text in the card. And yes, we need a CTA for each card. Let's create a rectangle, a small rectangle, and the color should be that light gray. Similarly, we'll stylize cards for pro and business planes. And finally, the footer section. In the footer section, we have a paragraph again and these 2 buttons, nav items and social media icons. But above the paragraph, I want to place the logo and then the paragraph. And it should be 25. Remove that list tile and we'll stretch it a little bit. After this, we will add those nav items. And we will remove that list tile. And we will break this here like this, and we will increase that line space. Drag that guide to align these elements from the top. For those social media icons, we will make a rounded placeholder for now. Select that ellipse tool and draw a small circle and create more copies of it. And in the last, those two buttons. Align these buttons vertically this time, like this. And we'll change the social media icons color. Okay, we have created our low fidelity wireframe, and yes, these elements and typography are not perfectly aligned, but we have got an idea from here that how we can structure our final design. You can also create a mid fidelity wireframe where you can add more details, but this worked fine for me now. Now it's time to design our high fidelity wireframe. Let's name it as high fidelity wireframe. For the navigation bar, we need its original logo this time. Copy this logo by pressing Ctrl C and paste it here by pressing Ctrl V. Select the scale tool to resize it proportionally and turn on the grids again. The logo should be a little bigger. Here we need a hamburger menu. For this, I want to create a two-line menu. Select that line tool and the width should be about 70 pixels and the stroke should be about 4 pixels. Create another copy of it by holding Option or Alt key and group it together by pressing Ctrl G and align this to the logo. So we have kept an 80 pixel margin from the sides. I want to keep 80 pixel space for the navigation this time. And we will align the menu and the logo in this space just like that. For the hero heading, let's see in the brief which fonts we decided to use in this project. So we can use two fonts, Monument Extended and Montserrat. I already installed these fonts. If you don't have these fonts installed, don't worry, I have attached them in the project file. The download link is in the description. So for the bigger heading, I will use the Monument Extended. 45 pixel is fine, I think. Let's add some related graphic elements in the headline to give it a little more modern touch. I want to add an icon for the to-do list here. I will make a little space for that. Create a small rectangle and the color should be light purple. It will be a little rounded. We need 2 lines more. The stroke size should be about 6 pixels. And we'll change the color to that purple. And the caps should be rounded. Create another copy of it. And I want to add a check mark in the middle of that box. Select the pen tool and draw something like this. And it should be white. The stroke size should be about 5 pixels and rounded caps. Also, I want to underline this brand name or company name. We'll create this line from this rectangle and change the color to purple. To bring this text forward, press Shift, Ctrl and right square bracket. And group these icons in heading by pressing Ctrl G. And I want to use Montserrat for paragraphs and small texts. The CTA button should be a little smaller and the color should be black. Roundness should be about 8 pixels This first button will be for Google Play, available on Google Play. This available on will be very smaller, and this Google Play will be bold and bigger. And we will decrease the line spacing also. And here we need a Google Play icon. Open your Iconify plugin, or you can use other plugins too if you have. Search for Google Play and just drag an Google Play icon to the project. Make it white. I don't want to close this panel because I need another icon for the App Store. And here is the second CTA for the App Store. Similarly, we will change the icon for the App Store. Drag this one and it will be close this panel and white. Group these buttons by pressing Ctrl G. Let's stylize these texts also. 200 million and 4.5 will be bold and on the top, and downloads and reviews will be in regular. Okay, so the left side is almost completed. Let's stylize our hero image. For this, I want to showcase these two pages or screen of our app. First, I want to export these as images and save them. And drag these images to the project. No, I don't want to showcase these pages simply, but I want to design a beautiful mesh gradient background for it. For this, I will use Adobe Illustrator, but if you don't have Adobe Illustrator, don't worry, you can make a background exactly like that in Figma. You need to install this plugin, Mesh Gradient. So here is the plugin. You can change the color for each points like that. Also, you can add more mesh points like that. But I will use Adobe Illustrator as I am more proficient at it. I will make this in almost the same process. Just create a rectangle. I will remove the stroke and apply the gradient. This is simple gradient. Click on that freedom gradient. Okay, we have these 4 points as default. Now I will add our project colors to each point. Copy that color hex code and paste it inside the color panel. And you can see the color is applied. We will repeat the same process for all points. If you want to add another point, just click in the empty space and this will create a new point for you. I want to make this white. Need another point here. And I want to make these colors a little lighter for the background. The background gradient is ready, but I want to add a line pattern over it. Select the pen tool and draw a rough line like this. It will be only in the stroke form. And the size should be about 4 pixels. Create another rough line like this. Here is the interesting thing. Select these two lines first. Select the blend tool. Click on this anchor point and attach this to this anchor point. So you can see there is one line added between these lines, but I want to add more lines. Go to Object, Blend, Blend option, and change this to specified steps. I will add 20, turn on preview, and you can see a nice pattern is created. You can still edit this pattern if you see any problem. Our background is ready. It's time to save it. File, Export, Save for Web, and save it in your project folder. Open your Figma again. Okay, drag that background image to the project and reduce the size of it. Align this to the grid and delete that one. Needs to increase the size of it a little bit. Turn off that grid for now. Now we will stylize these pages or screens in front of this background. I want to give it a 2 pixel stroke and the roundness should be 25 pixel. It should be a little small, about that much. And it should be more smaller. Bring this one to the front and align the center with each other. Here we need a drop shadow, but I want to make it a custom shadow. Select the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle, give it color and some roundness, apply effect, layer blur, and give the value about 50 to 55 and decrease the opacity and dark blue. So a nice drop shadow is created. Similarly, to make a shadow for this page. You can see we have designed an attractive hero image, but one thing more. I want to make a spark element here too. Select the pen tool and draw a curved line like that. It should be black. Similarly, make 2 more lines by using the pen tool. Drag it. Looks perfect. And let's draw the third one. And this is great. Adjust these lines a little bit more. Align these hero text to the hero image and align these elements and adjust the spacing between them. Our hero section is completed. Let's move down to the second section. I will keep an 80 pixel margin from the hero section. Create a rectangle and give it 80 pixel height and align this section to that rectangle. Delete that one and select all these text. These all text should be white because I want to make this background black. Delete these rectangle and change the font of this heading to Monument Extended. Okay, I want to make some custom icons for these features, but you can download icons from those plugins. For create task easily, I want to create an icon like notebook for tasks. I will create a small rectangle and the color should be that light purple, and also need some roundness, and here will be the bending of the notebook like that. Create a small rounded rectangle and then give it a stroke like that. And create 2 more copies of it. Align these with the notebook. Also, I want to add a pencil icon here. Open your plugin and download a pencil icon from there. And it should be white. So the icon is ready for the first feature. Similarly, by using these basic tools, we can create icons for others too. Okay, let's change the fonts for these features to Montserrat. The heading should be 20 and the paragraph should be 16. So the second section is completed. We will make more correction in alignment at the end of the design. For now, let's move to the third section. Change the font for the heading to Monument Extended. I think the text is too tight. Let's give it some letter spacing. 8% is fine. Similarly for that one. Change the font for the paragraph also. And we'll drag it a little bit down. I want to add read more button here too. Semi-bold, 24 pixel, and that purple. And drag these 2 buttons down here too. Okay, for this image, we will design our analytics page. I want to export this page without this analytics card because we will design these in front of that page there. Export the screen and save it there. Let's drag that image to Figma and delete that one. Reduce the size of it a little. We'll apply a 2 pixel stroke and round this. Now we will design those cards on this. Copy and paste it here. And this way we will stylize these cards here. Select Scale tool for resizing these cards proportionally. Okay, I want to give it a light gray stroke and a little bit roundness. We'll give it a drop shadow. X 4 and blur will be about 40 pixel, and we'll give it dark blue with the opacity of 10%. And you can see we have created a nice drop shadow. Similarly, we will do this for the other cards. So the image is completed. Let's align it with the grids. Similarly, adjust the spacing of text and turn off that grid. Okay, I want to add a camera and a speaker to the phone mockup. Create a rounded rectangle. It should be black, rounded, and a little bit smaller. And a circle for the camera, just like that. This is our speakers and sensor, and this circle will be for the camera. Group it together, and we will use this for the hero image too. Now it looks great, and I will add this part to that image too. Just drag that and we will reflect this here. Flip horizontal, drag it here. Now it looks perfect. Group these all elements, and we will keep 100 pixel space between sections. Similarly, we will keep 100 pixel for this line, and this separator line will be very light. This is section 4. Delete that placeholder, and we will make mockups for different devices here. Let's change these fonts too. The fonts for the heading will be Monument Extended, and add 8 pixel of letter spacing, and the paragraph will be Montserrat. Okay, here we will create 4 mockups: desktop, tablet, mobile, and watch. First, we will design a laptop mockup, but before that, we will export this image to our project folder. Okay, create a rectangle, and the width should be about 380 and the height will be about 240 pixel. And I will add 10 pixel of roundness, remove that fill and add a 2 pixel of stroke. And we will add another rectangle for the keyboard, give it a little more width and align this with the screen. I think I need to decrease the height a little more. Now we will place the desktop image inside this laptop. Like that. Drag it here. We will keep the same size almost. Bring it to the back. And around it. We have created a nice mockup, and this keyboard should be more closer to the desktop. Now we will make a mobile mockup. For that, we will use that one, but it should be very small here. Too much round, and we'll reduce the size of it a little more. And again, we'll add a little bit roundness. Again, we will add that camera. Similarly, we will make those other tablets and watch mockups here too. So we have created mockups for all devices. Also need a read more button here too, and we will adjust the spacing like that. Group these all together, and we will keep also here 100 pixel space from that above section. Okay, let's move down to the pricing section. We need 100 pixel distance from that section here too. The text should be white because I want to make this background black again. And we will change the font for these text also. For the heading, monument extended, and 8% of letter spacing. And for the paragraph, Montserrat. Now we will stylize the first card, and we'll reduce the width by about 260 pixel and the height a little, and should be white. For this CTA we will choose that light purple, and we'll reduce width and the height. And align it to this card. Name it this button, get started. Make it white and bold. Change the font to Montserrat. We'll add some roundness to this card and to this button too. Align it to the center and change the font to Montserrat. Adjust the spacing for these text. Okay, for the prop plane we will design this card a little different. Delete that one and create a copy of this for this second card. This text should be gray, and we'll change the font for all of these. And we need a tag for this 50% safe text, like that. The color should be that purple, and round it. Bring that text to the front of this tag. And the text should be white and bold. Align these all the text and elements to this card. I want to give a bold stroke to this card like that. The stroke should be 5 and that light purple. Similarly, we will design this third card too. Let's group these cards, and I want to add that spark icon here too. This time we will edit this one. Make it white and delete that one. We'll create another one here by using pen tool. Too much spacing between the cards. I want to bring these cards closer. Finally, the footer section. Let's drag the original logo here. and change the font for this paragraph. Change the font for nav items too. And we will align these elements to the top. For this, we will add those two buttons again, but this time vertically. And here we will add social media icons. So import icons from plugins one by one. We have completed our landing page. Now let's check if there is anything that needs some corrections. This line is too light and hard to see. We'll make it a little darker. And yes, the hero heading needs some letter spacing. We will give it 8% again. Okay, let's align this line too. And reduce their spacing. This heading needs more space from the top. Also, this heading. Okay, that's the end of this episode. We have created low fidelity and high fidelity wireframe of this landing page by following the client brief. And we are not designing a mobile version of this landing page here because we will make a responsive landing page for all devices in Webflow. So now we are ready to build this landing page in Webflow exactly like that. The next episode will be about Webflow brief introduction. Stick around.